Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're talking about Garry Kasparov's Immortal game. So this game is basically what I think is his best game. So this game basically has three brilliant moves and 6 great moves, which is like very cool, very cool. He's high level, and then yeah, and the engine thinks that he's 3,000, which is amazing. So basically, first off, he starts with e4, which is very classical. Then d6, which is the perks defense, or maybe it's the perks defense. I don't know. I think it's the perks defense. So d4, taking whole center. That's what the mainline theory says. Knight f6, knight c3, defending the pawn. Fianchettoing the bishop, having a good bishop here, and yeah, and then queen d2, basically wanting to trade this powerful bishop along this basically long diagonal. So yeah, this long diagonal. So basically, he plays c6, which is main line, preparing b4, and then maybe bishop here or something, and then f3, which is preventing this move. Knight coming in here to trade, trying to trade the bishop, and building up this e4 pawn, yeah, and then b5, which is basically pushing, take more space, maybe this or something. That maybe be overcommitting. But knight d2. But well, why knight d2? Because um, doesn't that just block the bishop? The bishop is supposed to come here first, right? Well, basically, this is Garry. He knows what he's doing, man. So basically, he wants to transfer his knight, maybe like here or here. But if his bishop comes here, like it basically gets in everybody's way. Like it's kind of clumped up. But like knight d2, maybe going here to reroute it here or here, or maybe putting on f4, or maybe g4, and then put the knight here because it supports these two good squares. Well, knight d7. Okay, coming here to trade this bishop on this long diagonal, which pressures the center. So he takes. Well, Vesselin is he can't castle on the king side anymore. So he's just gonna change plans. Put the bishop here, try and put some pressure on the center, and then probably move the queen out, and then just castle here, and life is good. Well, basically, Garry plays a3, preventing b4, which is very logical. But the engine recommends a4 here because yeah, because you can, if here, then you can reroute your knight. That's what the engine thinks. Well, he plays a3 just as a route, and then next he Vesselin strikes in the center with e5. Well, this e5 move basically strikes in the center, trying to open it up, basically taking this square and stuff like that. But Garry just long castles. Queen here, queen e7, and then protecting the center, and maybe coming in like this or something like that, and then king b1. Well, king b1 is like a waiting move and stuff like that, but it actually improves his position. Number one, it brings his king to safety. Number two, he's gonna reroute his knight over here, hitting these two squares, preparing an attack, because Garry knows that Vesselin is gonna castle on the queen side. Well, a3, no, not a3, a6, knight here. I don't really understand why this was a inaccuracy, but because the engine, yeah, the engine basically is kind of the engine's scared of a5, stuff like that, because Garry's gonna get pushed back. Well, here, and then basically what happens next is long castle. see, like this move, I still don't understand why it's an inaccuracy. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't think it's that much of a blunder and stuff, but it's just scared of like the engine's just scared of this because like stuff like that. But Garry plays here, coming onto these two squares, and then yeah, he chops down. Garry takes with the rook. I guess you open up like have a like staring down at his pawn. I guess I would have taken with the knight, but like who am I to speak? This is Garry Kasparov. So c5, rook d1 back, and then knight here. Kind of like protecting. I'm not protecting. Maybe jumping. Put like these are potential outpost squares. So basically, what he wants to do here is basically put the bishop here and check the king and take away the square, and it seizes the entire board because he doesn't see that much like not that much activity over here. Maybe like here won't really do anything. It won't really hit anything important. If here like it's being blocked this way and like staring down at this pawn doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so basically the king moves and then he jumps in with the knight. He wants to trade this powerful bishop because bishops are better than knight, and this bishop is not just better than is like very good because it has long-term pressure on this diagonal. Well, he goes back here because he doesn't want to trade and maintains this uh like he maintains this pressure on the diagonal. And then next is bishop a3. Well, bishop a3, the same plan, cutting off all these squares, and basically cutting the king off. Well, e5. Veselin strikes back. The position is equal here, but Garry wants to create an imbalance. So Garry plays queen f4, check, putting the king here, but it's pretty much safe. Rook d1. Well, what this rook d1 move does is basically it wants to chop down at this. If you take and then take, I get a basically you can push this on the knight with tempo and stuff like that. He pushes down, forcing Garry's knight move. Garry's knight jumps into d5, and in d5 here, the knight takes on b6, and then pawn takes, opening up an attack on the queen. Well, these two rooks are very powerful, and how will he basically like use the powerfulness of the rook? Well, here Garry plays rook takes d4. Well, what does this move do? First off, the most obvious move here is taking the rook, right? Taking the rook gets met with this hold on. Basically, let me show you the queen trade variation first. So basically, if queen trade, then takes, basically he's up a point, and he's about to win another pawn. So, you can't queen trade this. But for me, I really think that this move should be a brilliant move because it's sacrificing a rook, and it's very smart. Like how the way he does that is very smart. So basically, Veselin takes the rook, right? Well, look at so basically, what Veselin didn't anticipate here is basically rook to e7. First brilliant move. Well, what does this move do? Well, if you take my rook, look at the Eva bar. Because this queen will come like this. Check. The king, only one move. Queen, b6. And then if queen blocks, if queen blocks, then checkmate. If bishop blocks, more beautiful, check, triple fork. Only move here. The bishop cutting off the king beautifully. And then queen a7 mate. Look at that beautiful geometry. Like, I really like this mate. He was down 8 points of material, and he's very good calculator. So check. So, but what happens if you go back? Well, what happens is queen takes d4, still sacrificing the rook. Basically, he's threatening queen. No, not queen b6. Basically, you can't take this rook, and yeah, you can't really take this rook. And the best move for black is knight here. So yeah, and then basically he's gonna infiltrate somehow. So basically this, right? The king has to go forward. The only move. Well, what happens here is basically queen takes d4, check. King coming into the white territory. Going to the enemy's base. Being forced to go into the enemy's base. b4. And then queen c3. Threatening mate over here. Well, if what he played was queen takes, but bishop takes is a huge blunder. Because of this beautiful move. King b2. Brilliant move. Well, the best move is to play this. And then give up the queen and stuff. But you can't stop mate. Because if you take, bam, check. Only move, bam. Bishop takes, pawn takes. So the king got suffocated by 3 pawns. Which is nuts. And like beautiful. Like he was down 7 points of material. A knight. Yeah, he was down like a lot. Like a knight, a rook, not like a knight and 4 points, which is the rook. He's up a pawn. So, which is beautiful. So, queen takes. Rook here, threatening another mate. Bishop, defending the mate. Then he sacrificed the rook. Well, can't take, mate. Okay, so what do you do? So, what is played here is basically queen c4. But your knight just gets taken. But at this point in the game, he takes the pawn, which is nuts because the king was like here and got transported over to here. Well, queen takes. King takes the pawn. Check with c3. And then if takes. And then maybe yeah, it's queen takes. Here. Bam. 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 Beautiful. Queen can take. Only king can take. Queen basically coming on the back of the rank, so checking the king. King goes to d2. Queen take. No, queen check. Forcing the black king all the way from here. Famous, beautiful king hunt. Oh shoot, I spoiled that. Okay. So, what he played here was bishop f1. Well, what does this move do? Well, it basically attacks the queen. And if the queen takes, check. only move. Check. Queen e2. Mate. Beautiful. Okay. Can't take the bishop. Know that you can't take the bishop. So, Veselin comes up with the counterattack. Attacking the queen, try and get this check. Well, can't check here. Is the attack over? Is the attack over? Maybe Garry has to play some defense now. Maybe no. Rook d7. Paralyzing this rook. Can only take. Takes the queen. And this is also hit. And you're threatening this. So, takes the bishop. No more mate. But you take the rook in the corner. Garry probably saw that. Like, Garry's calculation skills are insane. And then rook d3. Queen a8. Rotating the queen for some stuff like this. Maybe, yeah, some stuff like that. Push. Okay, well, pushing gets the queen check, and then f4. Well, f4 here is basically just getting a pawn out of the way, because there's like no immediate threat. So you can just you can't even check because the king will run out. Well, he plays f5, stopping this pawn, making the cool sideways pyramid structure. King to c1, rook d2, cutting off the king, but it doesn't matter. Hold on, but it doesn't matter. Queen a7, and Veselin resigns. Because if the game were to continue like this move, you get checked with this, and then the queen comes back, and you just try to get that pawn, and you're up a queen, and then it's not that hard to get that pawn back. So yeah, so that's basically Garry Kasparov's Immortal game. So that's it for today's video. Don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe, and bye guys.